Join in.
Today we're filming a mid-year freakout because we were watching Mel reads on YouTube and we were like, that's a cute video idea. And I know it's a big thing since like 2016. Yeah, since the original creator.
Yes, the original creator.
We'll link everything down below to those queens.
Okay, so the first question. Best book so far this year. You go first.
Our answer is the same.
Okay. Happy Place.
Happy Place. That's what we both have read this year.
It is about Wynn and Harriet, and they used to be like college sweethearts kind of thing. They grew up with the same friend group in their college age, and now you are in present time with them, and they're no longer together. But they're on this friend trip for like the last hurrah as adults. They're all together again, and so they decide to not tell anybody about the breakup and pretend to keep dating, just so that they don't disrupt the
inner peace.
But you go back and forth through time just to see what maybe went wrong, where they went wrong, how it's affecting the friend group, and it's just so good. It's such a healing book. There's a lot of miscommunication in this book.
So you hate that trope?
I hate that trope, but it didn't bother me in this book.
Yeah, but people who hate that trope don't like this book.
Yeah.
So go with what you will. Right.
Yeah.
Because some people really hated it they liked everything else, but they hated that.
The miscommunication. Yeah. I really loved this book. It made me cry. It did not make you cry.
No, I really liked it though. It was like a 4.5. 4.
I
rated it 4, but now I'm looking back on it. If I reread it right now, I'd probably give it 4.5. 4.75.
Or a 5. You just don't want to give them out.
I don't know. It's not like 5-star, but I really liked it.
Can't relate. It's such a 5-star. It is such a 5-star. Yeah. So Happy Place. Yeah, that's the best book.
And Emma's runner-up is Wait For It by Mariana Zapata.
Yeah. This is a slower, what's it called? Like a slow release romance. It takes you a really good while to really get into these books, but once you get into them, you're like really into their lives and you want to know what's going to happen between them. And in Wait For It, you're just following this girl named Diana, and she is recently a mom because she took over her brother's kids after he passed away, and so she's having to start this new life in this new town and make connections for them and put them in sporting leagues and all this stuff. And she meets her neighbor, who's kind of like a grumpy guy across the street, but he ends up reluctantly coming around and helping her get her son on the baseball team and get him involved in things, and they just connect, and it's such an acts of service love type book that it's so good. So that's my runner-up.
Okay, new release we haven't read, but we really want to. We both said Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood.
We haven't called up a book in so long.
Shoot! Oh, she has like this stable career or whatever, and then it's saying...
That's right. They're like rival company jobs. And it's
offensively attractive front man threatens to bring it all crumbling down. Eli Kilgore and his business, that's a cool name, his business partner went Klein, period. So, Eli has his own reasons for pushing this deal through, and he is a man who gets what he wants, with one burning exception, Rue. The woman he can't stop thinking about, the woman who is off limits to him, torn between loyalty and undeniable attraction. Rue and Eli throw caution out the lab. Oh, cute! Throw caution out the lab boardroom windows. Their affair is a secret, no strings attached, and has a built-in deadline. The day one of their companies will prevail, but the heart is risky business, and no one plays for keeps.
So this is supposed to be more of an erotic romance, they say?
But I watched Sarah's video. She just said that first it's a physical relationship, but then there is still heart and emotion to them. It's just they start off a sexual relationship, and she said there is more spicier scenes. So I don't think it's anything too crazy, but I'm guessing she just had to give you that warning.
There you go.
Because usually hers are more of a slow burn, and this is
It's so
opposite.
pretty, like, because it has like a little shininess
I love it.
to the
It's
cover.
so pretty.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so cute.
That is such a good...
I love it. I'm excited.
We love all of her books, pretty much. All of them. So.
Most anticipated for second half of the year. Emma doesn't have an answer. I do. And it's Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this one entails, because the ending of that one was like, what? That's crazy. I'm very excited because I can't say much because Powerless was that, you know. I don't know. I'm just excited to see that vibe of what's going to happen, the more banter. I just know Lauren Roberts said that she's high on the banter next one. And she said she was looking into doing one bed trope, but like the horse trope. What's it called?
Like one horse trope?
Yeah. She was like, it's just on the road.
Right.
I was like...
But not really, because I also heard her say she wanted to keep it young adult.
Yeah.
and she doesn't want to have sex scenes or anything.
But I'm excited.
I honestly don't have anything anticipated because I have so many things on my TBR that are from the past.
TBR that you want?
I have like 87 books I want to read on Goodreads.
Yeah, Emma just wants to read a lot of romantic-y. Biggest disappointment of 2024. Yours is Underlock.
Underlock by Marna Zapata. If you know anything about me, you know I love her books, and I read a bunch of them all at one time. By the time I got to Underlock, I knew that it was not going to be as great as her others, but that it was still good. But to me, I just can't do with mean men, so it was just such a disappointment to me.
Yeah, Emma was reading me some of the lines, and I literally told her DNF. Like, I don't say
and I was
DNF
so
a
sad
lot.
Because I'm like, Mars, I don't want to DNF one of her books.
And that's one of her newer books, right?
It's like probably 5-6 years old. Maybe a little older.
And mine was Manacled or Once Upon a Broken Heart. Like, Manacled really, I had such a high expectation from what people had said, and that they've so enjoyed it because it's such a crazy revenge story. I just personally...
You felt like it didn't have the payoff at the end?
It did not have the payoff. I was like, okay.
Not that you didn't enjoy it, because I knew you were enjoying it for a while.
I was. I really liked... Finally, in the flashbacks, when I got them together, I was living for that. I was like, yes, everybody. You know, it's just the ending. I just did not love the last... Like, the flashbacks, and then once you're out of the flashbacks, I hated that whole part. So part 1 and part 2, I didn't hate. It's just the third part, I was like, ugh. The payoff, you have so much revenge arc. You have this really crazy, you could go...
But you do awful things too.
Yeah. You didn't.
Yeah, and you didn't.
But I guess that's the Gryffindor in her. She really didn't want to...
Without spoiling anything.
Yeah. But Once Upon a Broken Heart as well, I didn't expect anything amazing from this book, but I just didn't love it, girl. What the hell?
The way everyone obsesses over those books?
Yes. I just did not love this one. I don't know. Jax... I'm liking Apollo. Sorry, I know what Emma's told me what happened, so... What are we doing, Stephanie Garber? Come on, girl.
Exactly.
But I digress. I just knew that book was not going to be anything crazy. I just thought to mention it, but Manacled was my main one. Biggest surprise of 2024. What would you say?
Mine is A Court of Silver Flames in the ACOTAR series. I don't know why it was the biggest surprise, mostly because I just didn't like Nesta. I didn't think I'd ever really go back into the ACOTAR world, just because I like it as a trilogy. But I'm happy I did. I'm happy I got to see some growth out of her, and I think I have a newfound appreciation for her in the other books, even though I do have some lingering animosity towards her.
Yeah.
If you want to know what that's about, it's basically following the inner circle from the original ACOTAR series, including Nesta now. And she is in like a depressive state due to her past, going through the cauldron and all of that. So she decides to just rob the inner family basically in the beginning. She's getting drunk all the time, sleeping with people, whoever she wants no consequences out of anything in life, and doesn't think she's gonna get like reprimanded for it. She does, and they take her out of her comfort zone, put her in a house, and make Cassian train her every day, and just have to interact with other people. Makes her go work in the library with the acolytes, and she really starts to open up to these people, and you get to see her journey. It was really good.
My biggest surprise was Never Lie, and I read this back for our other video where all the YouTubers shows. Put in the cards where we'll put on the screen. I really, really loved this book. I got my dad to read it, our dad to read it, and I loved it. It was so shocking, just my reactions to it, and I was scared like the whole time. I was like, Emma, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I really liked it, and it was really funny just to see how wrong I was, or how, you know, just the opposing, just the ending. I was very shocked.
You really did like that book.
You're silly, and that's why I recommended it to Dad.
So what's...
Never Lie is about this couple. They're going to go see an open house. They've driven like 3 hours, I believe, and they're going to meet up with the realtor there. But it starts to snow, so once they get there, she's like telling her husband while they're on the road, I don't want to go because it's already snowing. We should probably head back. He's like, I didn't drive 2 hours for this, and we still have an hour. I'm not going to drive back and be stuck on the roads all night. And I was like,
valid.
When they get there, needless to say, when they get there, they see a light turn on, and he's like, oh, it's the realtor. She's here. And she's like, girl, there's no car here. What do you mean, the realtor? And they see the light flicker on and off. So they proceed to go in, and they see like that the fridge has sandwich stuff. And he's like, oh, the realtor's so considerate, you know. She's probably going to make us sandwiches. And the girl, the wife girl, the whole time, she's like, this is so weird. And now they've been snowed in. They can't leave. and they're not able to leave for like 3 or 4 days. That just goes and she figures out that the person who had the house was murdered.
And the story goes from there.
And she's listening to, and she was a psychiatrist, and she's listening to her tapes from her patients.
Right.
And it just goes from there, and I'm like, what? It was crazy. I loved it. It was really good. I feel like it'd be a really good winter book because it'd put you in there.
It'd be a good movie. Good thriller movie.
Yeah. Somebody direct that. Come on.
Yeah.
So, that one was very surprising. I really liked it. I didn't think I would.
Right.
So, you did that, girl. Favorite new author? Emma, what's your favorite new author?
Mariana Zapata.
Or Emily Henry?
Or Emily Henry.
Yeah, she got into her Emily Henry kick this year.
I've only read 2 of her books.
But
they were her goodies, so...
You read Beach Read and Happy Place.
Yeah, I read Beach Read and Happy Place.
You should read Funny Story. It'd be cute.
I will. I have a lot of stuff on my TBR that's already out. Go ahead, your turn.
Oh, mine is Elsie Silver. Emma forced me. She was like, girl, you have to read it. You have to read it. And I said, okay, I will. And I fell in love with Chestnut Springs, the whole vibe. We've been listening to some country music of the late, you could say.
And it makes you want to read Elsie Silver books.
It makes you want to reread them because it's summer and the vibes. Eat some watermelon as you read.
Those books are just all vibes. It's not the greatest literature ever, but
nothing needs to be, because that was amazing. Those men, top tier.
Exactly.
Except for that one. I'm just kidding. But I personally, I'll say it, I really liked Bo.
I know you did.
I really liked Bo, and I would go Theo, Bo, Cade, Rhett, Jasper. What would you do?
I would do
Cade.
No, I would put Theo.
Oh,
Cade.
you okay?
I'm a Theo girl. I like him the best, but Cade.
I loved Theo.
Cade number 2. I think Cade second because he's like an older dad.
Yeah.
I
same.
like that Theo's kind of like the younger, and they just have a baby, and so their relationship feels more like that.
He's just all on vibes.
And he's just such a, he's not as grumpy.
Yeah, he just
I prefer like the more.
And he's so down to be with her.
Yeah.
It was great.
I think I'm Theo, Cade, Rhett. No. Maybe, Rhett, Bo, Jasper.
Okay.
That's my ranking.
Period. And then my newest fictional crush, or our newest fictional crush, what would yours be?
Dallas Walker from Wait For It, which is what I talked about earlier.
Because you just love that man?
I love an acts of service man.
Did he eat?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I haven't read it.
He's like the quiet type. He doesn't do a lot of talking for people.
I love that.
But he is such a good man. Like, he does everything for her you can imagine. Like, there is just this one scene in the book. There's so many. But, like, there is a scene where her kids, they all come back from a sports game really late, and they have to travel the next morning to another baseball game, and it's out of town. And he's the coach, so he also has to go. But he finds out that the kids have lice, her kids. And he helps her without question. Change all the sheets, wash all the beds, get them cleaned up, goes and buys all the medicine. He spends hours picking nits out of the hair. What?
It's like a sick trope.
But it is. But
and you're like Heather. She loves this sick trope.
Okay, but listen. He helps her pick the nits out of their hair. And then he's like, after all this time, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. They have to wake up early, to go to this thing and drive. And he's like, well, come on. And she's like, what? And he's like, I'm going to do you now. And she has long hair, so he spends forever, like, basically falling asleep picking all the nits and eggs out of her hair. Disgusting as it is. How sweet is that? They weren't dating. They weren't anything. He didn't ask for anything. It was nothing sexual. It was just like, that's such a good man. I love that.
Yeah. And then my fictional crush would be Wen.
Wen from Happy Place.
Because he's such a good person, down to the bone. You could tell.
Country boy.
Yeah, he's just such a good guy.
They had such a human relationship.
Yes, they were perfect. And I remember this one scene where he said to her, like, you don't have to be like that for her. Like, you don't always have to be the one that pleases her.
The people pleaser.
Like, it's okay. And he just always wanted to
shelter
her and help her.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like he was such a good person.
And he wanted what was best for her the whole time.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I don't even like physical touch at all, but I thought it was really sweet.
Yeah, that was his love language.
It's so sweet. And how he would say to her, like, oh, that's my thing. Like,
he called her Harry. I love that as a nickname, too.
And how he was like, oh, you know how they know I touch you all the time. And she was like,
that's such a good book. It really is. Oh my gosh, summertime vibes.
I love that book. It's so sweet. Newest favorite character. Who would yours be?
Okay, I chose Aelin Galathinius from
High Silver Order.
She's a great character.
Tell her why.
I've had a love-hate relationship with her. Since the beginning of this book, I thought
That's how every good character is, Emma.
Amen. That's what I'm saying. From the beginning, I thought she was really
Except for
bratty.
Johnson.
Yeah. But even he had some growth, you know? From the beginning of the story, she's very bratty. She's very young. She just does everything and acts like she can get away with everything. And clearly we see she doesn't get away with everything. And I love her character arc of where she's come to now. I'm moving on to Kingdom of Ash. So, you know, I just love who I've seen her to be. The woman she is.
Mine is Nick Nelson. I just read the comic books this year for Heartstopper. I'd obviously already watched the show.
Many times.
But many times. And I just love Nick Nelson. He's such a good person, down to the bone. When people were just being homophobic, he always stood up for what he believed in and what he thought was right. And I just think that's
a good guy to Charlie too.
Yes, and he always would be like, you don't need to say sorry, like stop saying sorry.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, sorry. He's like, stop saying it. Like,
sorry.
He, you know, just Charlie's the people pleaser type where he wants to stand up for him. And I just think it's so admirable, and he's such a good guy.
He is a good guy.
And Kit Connor, who acts him out, does amazing as him. So, book that made you cry, Emma.
Happy Place.
It's really hit home.
Honorable mention would be A Quart of Silver Flames at the end. Happy Place made me cry because it just hit really close to home.
Yeah.
You know, that whole, like,
I think even if you're
life
just in your
story.
20s or you're out of school and you just want to read something that's gonna, like, you're having growing pains, I think that really helps you.
There's something I feel like hopefully you can connect with in that book. Whether it be the friendship aspect, the parental aspect, or the relationship, or just like the inner journey she has to go on for herself.
To find
her inner battle.
Peace.
Yeah, her inner peace. A Quart of Silver Flames made me cry because of the sisterly love. Yeah, that really got to me. So
I teared up. I didn't really cry, but it was Heartstopper 5. I was
she doesn't cry in books, so she really had to pick for this.
I was genuinely shook. I was just like, no. I knew this was gonna happen, but I was like, dang it! Book that made you happy, Emma. What made you happy? Tell them.
I can't remember what I said. So many books make me happy, or I wouldn't read them. But I was trying to think of a book that just made me giggle out loud many times, and I chose A Curse of the Wolf King. This book is so unironically funny, you know? Like, just from the beginning. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, like, word for word, but with fae people. And the guy that is the wolf is just so
you know what he reminded me of?
Who?
You were telling me? In Four Things.
Yes! Just like,
I'm your best lover.
Yeah, he's just like this egotistical kind of prince, king, or whatever he, you know, like the beast. And he's just so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, is this for real? And it's so good. I love it.
Yeah. Mine, the one that made me giggle happy is Bride, because Bride,
she's like,
if you know, like, we did a reading vlog for that. I can't. It was so good.
I know.
I loved cackling. Bride. And the scenting, I was like, it was so good. I was feral for the feralness in that.
Yes, you were.
And it's just perfect because I love vampires. Not so much werewolf. Werewolves are fine. I'm more into the fays, but whatever.
I know, right?
Werewolves are alright. I like the Teen Wolf werewolves because they're not full beast. People have that kink though where they really like the beast form. Like the wolf.
I know.
I'm not that person, sorry. I'm more into the vampire, like fae look. The pointed ears, you know, vampire pointy teeth. I'm more into that. But this one ate. But I just loved Bride. Bride was amazing. If you haven't read it, go read it. Even though it had the Omegaverse things in it, I didn't hate it. I know people did. I get to see how it rubs people the wrong way. Most beautiful book you read, Emma. Bought this year.
Okay, A Fate Inked in Blood. Have you seen this book? Have you seen the sprayed edges that are shiny and blue?
Yeah.
It's so pretty. I don't have it on hand, sorry.
She bought it on Audible and bought the book. Period. Mine is Wild Freaking Love. Like, just look how... I know everybody's read it, but I don't care. If this is your sign to read it, because it's just so pretty. I love it. I love all the pink. I'm into pink, girl.
Me too. Her books always have like a color scheme.
A really great theme.
Yes.
So, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
And then, books you need to read by the end of the year.
Books I'm wanting to read. I just have one I know for sure I want to be done with is Kingdom of Ash. I just want to be done with the Throne of Glass series.
Mine is Reckless by Warren Roberts, and then Leather and Lark, because I thought it'd be fun to read that for a reading vlog, just to see the vibes of the murderers killing murderers.
Right.
And it's Marriage of Convenience. Say less. I'm sat.
You're sad, yeah.
Low-key, I want to listen to it in an audiobook to hear Irish accent.
Yeah.
Favorite book community members. We have a few, guys. This is the last question. We have a few. So obviously Mel, because she made
this idea, yeah.
And then Heather Medita, because I love her. She's making her comeback. She's going to be looking great this year. She's going to be thriving. Larry, obviously. I love Larry. She's my spirit animal. Kendall Watson, our bestie. And then Mercedes. We love Mercedes.
This is true.
That's the mid-year book chat, guys.
The freak out.
Freak out. And it's going to be so fun to create a thumbnail. Tell me if you guys like the thumbnail I made. I made on Procreate. Thank you guys for watching today's video.
Like, comment, subscribe.